Shalom to the elect of Israel, to the whole flock of Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. Got to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, the Most High, the Heavenly Father. His Hebrew name is Yahweh, not Yahweh, not Jehovah, not God, not Elohim, not Mosai, not Lord, not Yah, not Jah, not Ahaya, not Allah. It's Yahweh, and His only begotten Son name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shah. Not Yahshua, not Yeshua, not Jesus Christos, not Jesus Christ, not Serapis Christos, not Yeshaya, not Yehoshua. It's Yahweh Shah. So you got to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Rekah, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, Ruel, who teach well, who are the apostles and elders of all of Israel, whether concepted or not. And a sincere salutation to all the Akim, pushing this truth and believing this truth toward the four winds of the earth, the entire world, waking up the hope for the elect. And shalom to the Awaf who are listening and learning, the few sisters who are listening and learning. Mazai from GMS and Nano Camp, coming into the lesson in truth, facts, faith, and edification. Another day of edification, Lord willing to be edifying. So I titled this lesson, Understanding the Vision in all the camps of Israel. And this is not nothing new. As the scriptures say, the division, there has always been a division amongst the Hebrew Israelites. Always. There's a separation between the 1/3 and the 2/3. And they have always been like that. So yesterday, it just hit me out of the blue when I was meditating on dealing with the Pharisees and Sadducees and the Herodians and the Zealots, right? And there was other sects. There was a lot of different sects of Israelites and different beliefs. And when Yahushua came on the scene, it was all the more division, man. Yahushua stirred up all the more division amongst these different sects, which was at the end, it was the truth against the lies, man. Right? So I was meditating on, like I never looked into it, like I knew about the different, right? The Pharisees and the Sadducees and the Herodians, but never really looked into why they were so separate. But they came together to go against Yahushua at the end, man. Well, when Yahushua came on the scene, they came together to go against Yahushua. Just as now, you got these groups with different beliefs, but they all come together and have these unity camps, right? So, and as I was meditating on this yesterday, so when I was at the plantation, I was putting together some scriptures. Then I saw it's the spirit of the Lord, because I saw the elder brother Karat Zabar from the Baltimore camp, and he did a lesson on Elder Recall from GOCC and Dr. Uma Johnson, right? So it's all the spirit, man. Can't make it up. So as I said, the spirit hit me, and I was wondering, like, what made the Pharisees and the Sadducees? Why was they different? Then you had the Herodians. Then you had the Zealots, right? The Sicarii, and there was other different sects, different beliefs, and everything when it comes to so-called religion, right? And when Yahushua came on the scene, he made it all the more division, man. So, and that's why you got division today amongst all these groups. So I just said I want to deal with this because this is why 2/3 of Jake is gonna be destroyed, man. This is why 2/3 of Jake gonna take the MOTB. They want to be voting. They want to be part of the system, right? That's why it's a separation because the Lord is about division, man. So let me play this clip from the elder brother, Karat Zabar from Baltimore. It's the spirit that he did this as I was putting together my scriptures, because I never went into why it was different sects of believers like the Pharisees, the Sadducees, the Herodians, right? The Zealots with the Sicaries. Then you had different other sects with different other beliefs, right? Dealing with Old Testament, right? So let me play this. I'm gonna get some precepts, man. Cause this is something I was meditating on, and it hit me out of the blue yesterday. I just thought about it. I was watching a video that Elder Yashawama had did yesterday, and it just hit me, and I just was like, I want to look into this because I never did, right? So it's the spirit that the elder did this lesson. Because this is why, again, 2/3 of our people gonna be destroyed, man. Because there's a lot of different philosophies, man. And as the Lord said in 1 Corinthians 11:19, there must be heresies among us that we may know who is approved by Yahweh Shema Shah, man, to teach sound doctrine. So let me play this. So check this out. Let me turn this volume down. It's crazy, man. But this is how the Lord did. Nothing new. There is nothing new, man. So listen.
At this point, there is no proof on this conversation that you can bring forth right now to say that in the Bible the Jews built the pyramids. There's nothing you can't bring right now. You can bring right now.
Yes, it's in my library. Yes, I can. But okay, listen to me. Listen, I want to make sure I'm clear, brother. I'm not wasting time trying to prove anything for or against the Bible. I'm in the process of trying to build a school for our kids. I could give a damn what you believe or don't believe about the Bible. That is not a priority for Dr. Umar Johnson.
I need you to preference for the brothers and sisters what we were following in Africa. And what is that religion or what is that ideology?
I just answered that in my last conversation.
Okay,
religion did not have a name because it was not religion. It was culture.
To ask, why did we as a people walk away from the Bible? Not what the white man is teaching and not what the religions are bringing forth. Because when I see the Bible and read the Bible, it's clear in principle. It has nothing to do with what the white man religions are doing. It's clear concerning our fall and how we feel as a people. And it points out the white man who've done things against the black characters in the Bible. So what I'm asking you is 2 points. Why is it that we go outside the Bible? And if there was something before the Bible, we're giving you the floor to tell us what it was. We're using before the Bible. What was our constitution? What was our religion? So what we're doing now is, since you have the floor as a doctor and giving us key information on how we should come together,
I would say that I did answer the question and I didn't go around it. Second, I would say that it's important to understand that there's no law in the Bible that was not there before the Bible. From an African cultural historical perspective, the Bible is a plagiarized book because
you see, you hear what this nigga just said? The Bible is a plagiarized book. Before I go any further, let's get this word plagiarized. That's why I said with the spirit, man, that the Lord put the spirit on me. I was thinking about this yesterday, dealing with the Pharisees, the Sadducees, the Herodians, right, the Zealots, and this other sects, which I'm going to read, that the different beliefs, man. When the Bible said there's only one truth, there's only one gospel, this nigga said the Bible was plagiarized, and before the Bible was Pan-Africanism. That's what this nigga saying, man. Let me read this. These, and just like, which I'm going to read, Lord willing, in Numbers 11, when Jake was saying, why the Lord brought us out here, we want to go back to Egypt, when we was with the leeks and the garlics and the fish and the cucumbers, right? That's these niggas today, man. These Egyptologist niggas, man. these Pan-Africanism bug out niggas, man. All these different beliefs, man. The scripture say there's only one truth, one gospel. But it's supposed to be like this because Yahushua, and even before Yahushua came on the scene, man, it was division. When Yahushua came on the scene, it just made it that much more worse, man. Because the Lord, the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, is about division. Yahushua saying, I came to do my Father's business. Let's get this. So this is the word, plagiarize. This nigga said the Bible was plagiarized, man. This is the word. Plagiarize. It's a take the work or an idea of someone else and pass it off as one's own. So it got similar words. It's a copy, pass off as one's own. It's a steal, poach, borrow, rip off, right? It's a copy from. So this nigga saying the Lord, the Heavenly Father Yahweh, and his only begotten Son Yahushua copied from somebody else. Now, me and the brothers, we usually go to a Benjamin spot downtown after camp on Saturdays, and it was a Hamite chick, and she's always and me and her started talking, and she was like, she don't believe in the flood, she don't believe in the Bible because she said she was a Hamite, and she was like, yeah, she don't believe in the flood, and she was like, before the Bible, there was something else. What was before the Bible? So let me run this back a little bit. Listen to what this demon nigga say, man.
Yeah, but I would say that I did answer the question and I didn't go around it. Second, I would say that it's important to understand that there's no law in the Bible that was not there before the Bible. From an African cultural historical perspective, the Bible is a plagiarized book because nothing in it is original. It's simply borrowed from the spiritual cosmology that predated it. If you look at the laws of Moses, the 10 Commandments, those were borrowed, okay, from more than 142 positive confessions that come out of the Nile Valley spiritual code. So it's not to negate anything in the Bible, but to understand that the Bible is nothing more than a composite of pieces, okay, of spiritual doctrine that predated it. As far as what the religion was called, it's important to understand that really calling spiritual consciousness from an African context religion is inappropriate because technically we had no religions. We had spiritual culture. So when we look at the spiritual science of Kemet, okay, of Asar and Aset and Asaru, that was a part of the culture of.
You hear all that garbage this man talking, man? Now he's right. The Lord made us spiritual and he gave us laws, statutes, commandments. That's all he said that was correct. He talking about this Kemet madness, man. What is these niggas talking about? And you got this nigga here, Uma Johnson. What's his other nigga name? Shaka, whatever his name is. You got these Sarnettas and these Polites. These are these niggas that were saying, "Why the Lord brought us out here in the wilderness? Well, we could have stayed in Egypt." That's these niggas right here, man.
Of the people. It was not separate from their worldview. It was not separate from their family structure. It was not separate from the economic order. It was culture. So, or any organized religion, is that it teaches people that they have to.
And this that same garbage. And the chick, she said she was a Hamite, light skin, nice looking chick. She's saying the same thing, man. That she don't believe in the flood. And before the Israelites had the Bible, she said what she said was everything that what was taught came from the Hamites. That's what she said. That's what this nigga is saying, man. So now I'm thinking she following Umar Johnson. But she's supposed to be a Hamite. And this nigga look like he a Judite.
To believe in stories that don't have anything to do with their current reality as a prerequisite to building a relationship with God. So
the discussions on the table and say, well, let's just deal with this for one moment. Now, the example I'm giving you, brother, is that we don't really want to discuss what you don't believe in the Bible. You understand? Because I
then maybe
understand.
you shouldn't ask questions about it then.
Okay.
Well, maybe we shouldn't be talking about the Bible, but you're not going to unify people around the book that historically oppressed them.
Hey, brother,
I'm disagreeing with what you're trying to push. Then we can't discontinue the interview if that's what we need.
He said a book that historically oppressed them. And like the elder Karatazar Bar mentioned, they took our book and used it against us, man. So now, like, I get it, man. I get it. So I'm going to start here in Matthew, right? This is Matthew 22. I'm going to start at Matthew 22 and 15. And it reads, it say, then went the Pharisees and took counsel how they might entangle him in his talk. And they sent out unto him their disciples with the Herodians, saying, as a matter of fact, hold on, let me get this first. So understanding the Pharisees and the Sadducees, right? Let me get this first. So this is dealing with the Pharisees. It's the religious responsibility of the Sadducees included the maintenance of the temple in Jerusalem. Their high society status was reinforced by their priestly responsibilities as mandated in the Torah. The priests were responsible for performing sacrifices at the temple, the primary method of worship in ancient Israel. This included presiding over sacrifices during 3 festivals of pilgrimage to Jerusalem. Their religious beliefs and social status were mutually reinforced, as priesthood often represented the highest class in Judea society. However, it says Sadducees and the priests were not completely synonymous. It said Cohen points out that not all priests, high priests, and aristocrats were Sadducees. Many were Pharisees, and many were not members of any group at all. So it goes into an article that I pulled up, which me and the brother was talking about this. It tell you that, because I was thinking, right, that the Pharisees and Sadducees was like because to go in the temple or to deal with the priests, of the temple, right? The sacrifice and all that, you had to be a Levite. So I was thinking, it was me meditating on, so the priests had to be like all Levites, as far as the Pharisees and Sadducees. But when you go into it, they didn't deal in it. That was the Levites' job, right? Because Paul was a Benjamite, and he said that he was a Pharisee. So when you look into it, the Pharisees and Sadducees, that was Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. But only Levi, the priest, went into the temple because Judah, Benjamin couldn't do the priest, right? You know, the sacrifices and all that. So here are different sects of Israelites: Judah, Benjamin, Levi, right? So this is the one for Pharisees. It say the Pharisees were rabbis who believed the temple was unnecessary, and Torah was the most important aspect of Jewish life. They worshiped in synagogues, interpreted the Torah, and most notably believed in the importance of oral law. It said this group believed that God gave us instruction orally at Mount Sinai, and those laws were just as important as the laws written in the Torah. The Pharisees were the lower class citizens and lived in the worst conditions in Jerusalem, because the Sadducees was the ones in the upper class. It's finally the Pharisees didn't like living under the Roman rule, The Pharisees, Judaism is what we practice today, as we can't sacrifice at the temple and instead we worship in synagogues. It said the Sadducees were the wealthy upper class who were involved with the priesthood. They completely rejected oral law, and unlike the Pharisees, their lives revolved around the temple. The Sadducees' jobs was to make sacrifices and maintain the temple purity. Although the Sadducees were the most involved with the temple, they were also the most Hellenized Jews and respected Greco-Roman civilizations and rule. And when you read in First Maccabees 1, what did it say? Verse 11, that was went out of Israel, wicked men, right? Who consented to the laws of Antiochus Epiphanes. It say they were also the most Hellenized Jews and respected Greco-Roman civilization and rule, which Yahushua said, hey, render to Caesar what is Caesar's, right? This wasn't no Zealot Sicarii movement, right? The Lord say, when was it, Romans 13, right? That the wicked better not to swore in vain. So it say, the Pharisees and Sadducees made up the Sanhedrin, a council of 70 men who made up all the decisions for the Jews. The tiebreaker was the high priest, who was called the Nasi in modern Hebrew. So when you go into these articles, it tell you that, matter of fact, let me get it. Let me get it real quick. So this is as a matter of fact, I'm gonna go to the scriptures. Because you tell they had a different belief. Some believe that it wasn't a resurrection, right? Some believe that when you die, oh, they said this your only life. This it. It's the only life you live. Then others believe that you came back. They call it the afterlife, right? You came back. So let's just deal with this. This is Matthew 22 and 15. Salaki, hold on one second. Oh, as a matter of fact, before I go to that, let me read this about the Herodians. Because you had the Herodians too, which I'm going to read here. Let me read this. So then you got the Herodians. So you had the Pharisees and the Sadducees, right? Then you got the Herodians. Now this is what it says. Herodians. The Herodians were a sect of Hellenistic Jews mentioned in the New Testament on two occasions. It's according to many interpreters, the couriers were soldiers of Herod Antipas, right? It's like the Pharisees, the Herodians wanted to politically independence, wanted political independence for the Jewish people, unlike the Pharisees who sought to restore the kingdom of David. The Herodians wished to restore a member of the Herodian dynasty to the throne in Judea, right? Meaning they wanted somebody, I'm assuming, or somebody of Herod, Edomites, right? So like the Pharisees, the Herodians wanted political independence for the Jewish people, unlike the Pharisees who sought to restore the kingdom of David. The Herodians wished to restore a member of the Herodian dynasty to the throne in Judea. So it is possible that to gain adherent, the Herodian party may have been in the habit of representing that the establishment of a Herodian dynasty would be favored to the realization of the theocracy. And this is in turn may account for pseudo Tertullians. So let me see. Allegations that the Herodians regarded Herod himself as the Messiah. The sect was called by the rabbis Beothusian as being friendly to the family of Beothus, whose daughter, whichever not important. So they wanted to keep. Some people think that the Herodians was another name for Essenians, Essenes, who probably wrote the Dead Sea Scrolls, whatever. So they wanted to put somebody from the Herodian dynasty, right? Now, this is the article about the Sicaries. It say, which these Zealot guys, right? It say the Sicarii were a splendid group of Jewish Zealots who in decades preceding Jerusalem's destruction in 70 CE strongly opposed the Roman occupation of Judea and attempted to expel them and sympathizer from the area. The Sicarii carried Psyche, or small daggers concealed in their cloaks. So it said the Sicarii are regarded as one of the earliest known organized assassination units of cloak and daggers predating the Islamic, whatever. It's a Hasashin in Japanese ninja by centuries. The derived Spanish term sicario is used in contemporary Latin America to describe a hitman. So you had these different, right? These different sects of Israelites. So let me get this. This is Matthew 22 and 15. It reads, Then went the Pharisees and took counsel how they might entangle him in his talk. And this is why 2/3 of Jay gonna take the chip, 2/3 of Jay gonna get thrown in concentration camps, which as the scriptures say, they're gonna do this to men of the Lord as well, right? The hopeful elect. But this is why the Lord is going to have 2/3 of his people to be destroyed, man. Because of all these different beliefs, man. But Yahweh came with division. He was about division. The Heavenly Father Yahweh was about division, first and foremost. So it say, Matthew 22 and 15, then with the Pharisees, now they all had different beliefs, right? But they all came together, the Pharisees and Sadducees and the Herodians, to destroy Yahweh, man. Right? To destroy Yahweh, man. So it say, Matthew 22 and 15. Then went the Pharisees and took counsel how they might entangle him in his talk. And they sent out unto him their disciples with the Herodians, saying, Master, we know that thou art true and teachest the way of God in truth, neither carest thou for any man. For thou regardest not the persons of men. Tell us therefore, what thinkest thou? Is it lawful to give tribute unto Caesar or not? But Yahweh shall perceive their wickedness and said, Why tempted ye me, hypocrites? Show me the tribute money. And they brought unto him a penny. And he said unto them, Who is the image and superscription? They said unto him, Caesar's. Then said he unto them, Render therefore unto Caesar things which are Caesar's, and unto God the things that are God's. When they had heard these words, they marveled and left him and went their way. The same day came to him the Sadducees, which said that there is no resurrection, and asked him, because the Sadducees didn't believe in the resurrection, but the Pharisees did, right? Saying, Master, Moses said, if a man die, having no children, his brother shall marry his wife and raise up seed unto his brother. Now, therefore, were with us 7 brethren, and the first, when he had married that wife, deceased, and having no issue, left his wife unto his brother. Likewise, the second also, and the third unto the 7th. And the last of all women And it say, and last of all the women died also. Therefore, in the resurrection, whose wife shall be of the seven? For they all had her. Yahweh shall answer and said unto them, ye do err, not knowing the scriptures, nor the power, nor the power of God. For in the resurrection, they neither marry nor are given in marriage, but are as the angels of God in heaven. Meaning, ain't no sex in the heavenly realm, in the spiritual realm. And that's why when you read Genesis 6, when it say the sons of God saw the daughters of men and came into them, nowhere in that chapter, Genesis 6, it don't say angels. It say the sons of God. That's how you can cut these bug outs, talking about the angels slept with the daughters of men. That didn't say angels. It said the sons of God. And when you go to Luke 3, it tell you about the sons of God from Adam all the way down to Joseph that had Yahweh. It said Adam, the son of God, Seth, the son of Adam. It goes in order about the son of Adam, the son of David, the son of Solomon, the son of Judah, the son of Israel, to the son of God, which was Adam. It's talking about men. So right here, Yahweh telling them, for in the resurrection, they neither marry nor are given in marriage, but are as the angels of God in heaven. So Genesis 6 wasn't talking about angels, it was talking about men, Israelite men having sex with heathen nation women. Listen, verse 31. But as touching the resurrection of the dead, have ye not read that which was spoken unto you by God, saying, I am the God of Abraham and of the God of Isaac and the God of Jacob. God is not of the dead, but of the living. And when the multitude heard this, they were astonished at his doctrine. But when the Pharisees had heard that he had put the Sadducees to silence, they were gathered together to do what? What to do what? Come against the Lord, man. Right? This is Mark 3 and 6. It reads, and the Pharisees went forth and straightway took counsel with the Herodians against him, how they might destroy him. Why? Because of the doctrine. And that's why, me personally, myself, I understand why everybody is against the apostles, man. Against the apostles and the elder bishops and the elders, man. I understand now. I completely understand why everybody else is against the apostles of Great Millstone and the elder bishops and the elders, man. Because it's because simply of the doctrine. Now I understand, me personally, why they calling the apostles and the elder bishops and the elders rapists. The rape doctrine. Now I get it. I get it. This is Acts 23. Me, myself, personally, I get it. Because this is something that I've been dealing with that and the Spirit hit me yesterday to just go into this. This is Acts 23 and 6. But when Paul perceived that one part was, let me read up. This is Acts 23 and 5. Then said Paul, I wish not, brethren, that he was the high priest, for it is written, thou shalt not speak evil of the ruler of thy people. But when Paul perceived that the one part were Sadducees and the other part and the other Pharisees, he cried out in the council, me and the brethren, I am a Pharisee, the son of a Pharisee, of the hope and resurrection of the dead, I am called in question. And when he had said so, there arose a dissension between the Pharisees and the Sadducees, and the multitude was divided. For the Sadducees say that there is no resurrection, neither angels nor spirit, but the Pharisees confess both. And they arose a great cry, and the scribes that were of the Pharisees part arose and strove, saying, we find no evil in this man, but if a spirit or an angel has spoken to him, let us not fight against God. Right? When you look up the Pharisees and Sadducees, the different beliefs, right? One that believe in the resurrection. They didn't believe in the after reincarnation. They didn't believe in reincarnation, right? One of them believed that this is your only life, just like Esau have taught us. YOLO spirit, you only live once. Obey your thirst, just do it. Right? You got Sprite, obey your thirst. Nike, just do it. The YOLO spirit, you only live once. That what is it? What is this? Charles Darwinism? What the name is? Yeah, you only live once, the YOLO spirit, whatever, right? It's a so it's a again, this is verse 12. And when it was day, certain of the Jews band together and bound themselves on a curse, saying they would neither eat nor drink till they have killed Paul. And they were more than 40 which had made this conspiracy. This this is how serious the doctrine of the Heavenly Father Yahweh is, man. Through his only begotten son Yahweh Shah, man. That they came together and bind themselves. 40, right? Just get this. Just here's some points, making points about why there are different camps and why there's a separation. But they all come together as a unity camp to do what? To come against the truth. And that's why when you got questions in your mind, like, why only GMS always be rebuking and these other camps never rebuke when these other camps be going off? Because they all together, man. They separate, but they together, just like the plebeians and the patricians, man. Just like the Democrats and the Republicans. They separate, but they together, man. To deceive the people. They separate, but they together to deceive the people. And that's why these guys, the Alistair Crawley spirit, yeah, they separate and together to deceive the people. Because it's about followers, it's about viewers. But they have different beliefs. Some of these other camps, but they come together and have unity camp. Why? Because everybody is against the truth, man. This is Acts 5 and 17. Then the high priest rose up, and all they that were with him, which is the sect of the Sadducees, and were filled with indignation. Why? Why? Because of the truth, man. It's a and laid their hands on the apostles and put them in a common prison, right? And put them in a common prison. This is verse 27. It reads, saying, did not we straightway command ye that ye shall not teach in this name? And behold, ye have filled Jerusalem with your doctrine and intended to bring this man blood upon us. What do you mean, the apostles' doctrine? It's Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shah's doctrine. And that's the separation in these other camps. And that's why when one camp go off, the other camps don't say nothing, man. Because they all in cahoots together, man. They come against the truth. There's nothing new under the sun. As it tell you in Ecclesiastes 1, man, it's a saying, let's read it again. Acts 5 and 17. Then the high priest rose up, and all they that were with him, which is the sect of Sadducees, and were filled with indignation, and laid their hands on the apostles and put them in a common prison. Verse 27. It say, and when they had brought them, they set them before the council, and the high priest asked them, saying, did not we straightly command you that ye shall not teach in this name? And behold, ye have filled Jerusalem with your doctrine, and intend to bring this man's blood upon us. You have filled Jerusalem. Who is Jerusalem? So-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians, right? Filled, we telling you, the apostles is telling you the sound doctrine of Yahweh Shema Bashar, right? Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we are to obey God rather than men, right? This is verse 36. For before these days rose up Theudius, boasting himself to be somebody, to whom a number of men, about 400, joined themselves, who were slain. This is another sect of guys. This is a whole nother sect. It say, for before these days rose up Theudius, boasting himself to be somebody, to whom a number of men, about 400, joined themselves, who were slain, and all as many as obeyed him were scattered and brought to naught. So these were some more type of murder, Sicarii type of guys, Zealots. Here's another one, verse 37. After this man rose up Judas of Galilee in the days of the taxing, and drew away much people after him. He also perished, and all, even as many as obeyed him, were dispersed. It was a lot going on, man. A lot during the time of Yahushua and after, man. There was a lot going on with different sects, man. And it's the same thing right now, man. It's a lot of, as apostles call it, there's a lot of alphabet groups out there, man. So this guy said, let's read this one more time. They said to the apostles, right? In Acts 5. Let me read this again. This is Acts 5 and 27. And when they had brought them, they brought the apostles, they sent them they set them before the council, and the high priest asked them, saying, did not we straightly command you that ye should not teach in this name? And behold, ye have filled Jerusalem with your doctrine, and intended to bring this man blood upon us. Now this is John chapter 7. And that's now, me personally, I understand why the Lord said what he said. Matter of fact, let me get this first. This is 1 Corinthians 11 and 19. Because as I put in the description box, right, you got, let me read it. You got Pharisees, Sadducees, Herodians, Zealots, Sicarii, Egyptologists, Pan-Africanism, and Pseudo-Science. These are the philosophies of the earth today, man. Okay? Pharisees, Sadducees, Herodians, which are all Jakes, Zealots, Sicarii, Jakes, Pan-Africanism, Jakes, Egyptology, Jakes, and Pseudo-Science. Talking about Jakes that's cleaving to these devils, man. Right? Just like in 1 Maccabees 1 and 11, man. This is 1 Corinthians 11 and 19. For there must be also heresies among you, that they which are approved may be made manifest among you. The Lord say, these sects of different Israelite groups is supposed to be like this, man. It's supposed to be like this. It's just like going to some cookie store or some candy shop that you like, and you get to pick from 20, 30, 40 different candies, man. Right? It could be the same candy, cotton candy, watermelon, but it's made by different companies, right? You got 7, 8 different watermelon candies, but it's made from a different company. What you gonna do? You want to try and see what the different taste is in every one of these candies. What's different? They all watermelon, right? Most of them are made from the same ingredients. So what's different from this one candy than this one? What it is, you're gonna find out. Some of us ain't have to go through these different candies. Some of us was directed to the one candy that triumphs all the other candies, man. Right? 1 Corinthians 11, 19. But there must be also heresies among you, that they which are approved, by who? By who? Is it Umar Johnson? Is it Recall from GOCC? Is it Sicarii? Now I understand why. Because some of these groups, the Pharisees and Sadducees, they had a oral belief, then some believed the Torah, right? Good example. I'm using example. In Corinthians, we talk about this all the time, me and the head brother of the camp. We both had long dreads. His dreads were longer than mine, but they were down our back. We both had long dreads. When we read what we read, we cut them off, man. Cut them off, right? Jake today still want to keep their long hair because it don't directly say in the law that a man can't have long hair. Because Paul said it's not good for a man to have long hair. So a Jake gonna say, oh, that's something that he just said. That's not in the law. Show me in the law that you can't have long hair, right? That's common sense, man. In Galatians 1, Yahushua taught Paul personally. Personally, how was Yahushua's hair? How does the Bible mention Yahweh and Yahushua's hair? Do they say they had long stringy hair, long dreads, long braids down the back? No, it don't. But you got a person gonna say, "Oh, show me in the law that we can't have long hair," right? Just using an example. That's why it's a separation, man. This is 1 Corinthians 11:19. For there must be also heresies among you, that they which are approved may be made manifest among you. So in John 7, this is John 7:14. Now about the midst of the feast, Yahushua went up into the temple and taught, and the Jews marveled, saying, how, knowing this man letters, having never learnt. So this is the Pharisees and Sadducees saying, he didn't learn with us, because colleges come from Israelites. These devils just took over what was already established, just like plantation Christianity. The Lord put the spirit on Constantine, already set up these different religions, where they had a whole dealing about who had the truth and all this with the Council of Nicaea, right? 325 AD. The Lord had it already set up so Esau to take flight and already take what was already set in place to destroy 2/3 of our people. Just like Pan-Africanism, just like Egyptology, just like Pseudo-Science, right? All these different religions, man. These different beliefs. The Bible said there's only one belief, man. There's only one gospel. So, again, John 7:14. Now, about the midst of the feast, Yahushua went up into the temple and taught, and the Jews marveled, saying, how knowing this man letters, never having learned. Never, as Salaki, having never learned. Learned with who? Because to tell you, once John the Baptist baptized Yahushua, and even before then, but when he was baptized, it said the Holy Spirit, right, descended upon him, man, right? Didn't the Lord tell Mary he was going to be filled with the Holy Spirit, man? That's why he told him at a young age. What is that in John 1? Let me see real quick. You know what? I think that's Luke. Is that Luke? Let's see. No, you know what it is? I think it's John chapter 2. I think. When the Lord said that when Mary and Joseph was looking for him, what verse is that? You should know it off the point. They use it to back up the that Mary knew that Joseph was the Lord's father. Is that thought it was in John. What is that? Maybe it's Luke 2. Yeah, Luke 2, right? Luke 2:45. And when they found him not, they turned back again to Jerusalem seeking him. And it came to pass that after 3 days they found him in the temple, sitting in the midst of the doctors, both hearing them and asking them questions. And all that heard him were astonished at his understandings and answers. And when they saw him, they were amazed. And his mother said unto him, Son, why hast thou thus dealt with us? Behold, thy father and I have sought thee sorrowing. Thy father and I have sought thee sorrowing. This is Mary saying, me and your father been looking for you. And he said unto them, how is it that ye sought me? Wish ye not that I must be about my Father's business? And they understand not the sayings which he spake unto them. What you mean you about your Father's business? Your Father and I been looking for you wacky Christians out there. So back in John 7, it say, John 7:14. Now about the midst of the feast, Yahushua went up into the temple and taught. And the Jews marveled, saying, how knoweth this man letters, having never learnt? Because he didn't go with them. He didn't learn as they learned. Yahushua answered them and said, my doctrine is not mine, but his that sent me. And that's why Peter said in Acts 5, let's read it again. Let's go back to it. Acts 5, and was it 29? Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey God rather than men. Right? Yahushua say, this is not my doctrine, and this is my Father's doctrine. John 7:16, Yahushua answered them and said, my doctrine is not mine, but his that sent me. If any man would do his will, he shall know of the doctrine. Show you how the Pharisees, Sadducees, whatever they believed, they so-called belief. It was that so-called belief, man. The Herodians, the Zealots, their so-called belief, man. They didn't believe in the doctrine of Yahweh, man. If any man, just like today, these niggas talking about you can have sex on the Sabbath, right? You can pop your woman in the butt. John the Baptist went in the truth. Yahweh shot and do miracles, right? We can go on with the doctrines that's out here, man. Oh, Edomites can be saved. GOCC, right? Oh, women can teach. Women can teach. Because this nigga GOCC got these daughters of Zion spewing madness and nobody has rebuked them. So if they was off, they would have told them, you don't supposed to be teaching. Obviously, they pushing that. GOCC, Ricard, is pushing that women can teach. Otherwise, it wouldn't be no young daughters of Zion on YouTube breaking down scriptures, man. It say, if any man would do his will, he shall know of the doctrine, whether it be of God or whether I speak of myself. What these niggas doing? Oh, you can have guns at camp. That's another gospel. That's another philosophy, another doctrine that ain't in the Bible, man. If any man would do his will, he shall know of the doctrine, whether it be of God or whether I speak of myself. He that speaketh of himself seeketh his own glory. What these guys doing? Can we not all agree that what's going on right now in every other camp is they are doing what? It say, he that speaketh of himself seeketh his own glory. You're telling Jake they can't have long hair. What do? Nothing. It's still growing. This nigga, what the name is? Yabun Ephraim. This nigga got dreads, nappy, stinking Shiva Jatas, man. And he calling on the name of Ahaya and Yeshaya. Bugged out. Where he learned that from? This nigga been on YouTube since 2013. Come on, man. But it's supposed to be like this. It say, he that speaketh of himself seeketh his own glory. But he that seeketh his glory that sent him, the same is true, and no unrighteousness is in him. This is John 18 and 19. And this one, he was in front of these priests, right? It say, when they had done snatched Yahweh up, right? So he let them take him. We'll see it like that. The high priest, this is John 18 and 19. The high priest then asked Yahweh of his disciples and of his doctrine. And he told them, it's not my doctrine. This is from the Father, man. It's let's get this. This is Acts 28. Now this is dealing with Paul again, right? And that's why it's supposed to be this way, man. The Lord made it this way that we'll know that, hey, it's plainly that we'll know who's approved by the Lord to teach this Bible, man. That's what this is about. This is about who is approved by the Lord to teach sound doctrine, man. This is Acts 28. I'm going to start at verse 20. This whole chapter is good, but I want to hit these points. This is Acts 28 and 20. For this cause, this is Paul speaking. For this cause, therefore, have I called for you to see you and to speak with you. Because this is what the Lord say do, right? Whether it's Israelite, Jew nor Greek. It say, because therefore the hope of Israel, I am bound with this chain. This chain is the bonds of Yahweh Shema Bashah, man, right? Ambassador in bonds, as it said in Ephesians 6. And they said unto him, we neither receive letters out of Judea concerning thee. Like, who is you? Who set you up? Neither any of the brethren that came show or spake any harm of thee, but we desire to hear of thee what thou thinkest. For as concerning this sect, we know that everywhere it is spoken against what? The truth. Because Paul was pushing Yahweh Shema Bashai heavy, man, after the Lord gave him his sight back, man. This is what the people said. But we desire to hear of thee what thou thinkest. For as concerning this sect, what sect? The gospel of Yahweh Shema Bashai, we know that everywhere it is spoken against. Man, when you read about Paul, everywhere he went at, man, they was ready to take Paul out, man. The one guy took him and threw him out the city, man. Or is it him and who was that? Paul and what's this guy name? Ananias, I think it was. No, Barnabas. Paul and Barnabas got kicked out the city, man. I forgot what chapter it is in the Acts. I forgot why I was reading it. It's been a while since I read it. They got kicked out the city, man. They thought they killed Paul, man. Listen, Paul went through a lot, man, for this sect right here, man, for this sound doctrine. It's Acts 28 and 22. But we desire to hear of thee what thou thinkest. For as concerning this sect, we know that everywhere it is spoken against. And when they had appointed him a day, there came many to him into his lodging, to whom he expounded and testified the kingdom of God, persuading them concerning Yahushua, both out of the law of Moses and out of the prophets, from morning till evening. Now this is Paul. They want to hear what he had to say. They done heard everything else. But we want to hear what you got to say, right? It say, and some believed the things which were spoken, and some believed not, man. It's supposed to be like this. It's supposed to be Israelites that hear the sound doctrine from the apostles and the elder bishops and the elders and the younger brothers, and they ain't gonna believe it. It's supposed to be like this, man. It's supposed to be scoffers. It's supposed to be, man. This is how the Lord set it up, that we may know who's approved, man, to teach the sound doctrine of the Bible, man. It's saying some believe the things which were spoken, and some believe not. And when they agreed not among themselves, they departed. After that, Paul had spoken one word, well spake the Holy Spirit by Isaiah the prophet unto our father, saying, go unto this people and say, hearing ye shall hear and shall not understand, and seeing ye shall see and not perceive. For the heart of this people is waxed gross, and their ears are dull of hearing, and the eyes have they closed, lest they should see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and understand with their heart, and should be converted, and I shall heal them. Be it known, therefore, unto you, that the salvation of power is sent unto the Gentiles, and that they will hear it and that they will hear it, man. And we had said these words, the Jews departed and had great reasoning among themselves. You see that? And had great reasoning among themselves, man. This is Numbers, right? Let me get this. This is Numbers chapter 11 and 1. It reads, and when the people complained, it did please the Lord, and the Lord heard it, and his anger was kindled, and the fire of the Lord burnt among them and consumed them that were in the utmost parts of the camp. This is in the wilderness, right? This is going to happen again, man. Why? Why? You seen it, man. This nigga Dr. Umar Johnson talking about the Bible is plagiarized from the Hamites. The Ten Commandments coming from the Hamites. Numbers 11 and 1. And when the people complained, as today, man, Jake complaining about the truth, man. This is the unadulterated, unfiltered, straight, skinny truth. And they can't receive it. And when the people complained, it displeased the Lord, and the Lord heard it, and his anger was kindled, as that it is this day. And the fire of the Lord burnt among them and consumed them that were in the utmost part of the camp. And the people cried unto Moses. And when Moses prayed unto the Lord, the fire was quenched. And he called the name of the place Tabera, because the fire of the Lord burnt among them. Now listen. And the mixed multitude that was among them fell a lusting, and the children of Israel also wept again. Again! When you read in Numbers, over and over, Jake was complaining. All the way through Numbers, from the first to the last chapter, these niggas was talking trash against Yahweh Shemabashah. And the mixed multitude that was among them fell a lusting, and the children of Israel also wept again, and said, who shall give us flesh to eat? We remember the fish which we did eat in Egypt freely, the cucumbers and the melons and the leeks and the onions and the garlic. But now, listen to what these niggas say. But now our soul is dried away. There is nothing at all besides this manna before our eyes. What's this manna today? It's this truth. What these niggas saying? This what y'all got? This is what y'all coming with? Jake don't even believe in the Bible, man. They say it's the white man's book. So these the same niggas today, the same niggas. You heard what that nigga said, Umar Johnson. Let's read it again. Numbers 11 and 5. We remember the fish which we did eat in Egypt freely. It's a freely, like we had all this. Why we gotta wait? Why we gotta wait on this man? This how the Jake saying it. Why we gotta wait on the Lord to send us something to eat? When we was eating it freely, we had a whole bunch of it. At any given time, we had a whole bunch of it. It say, we remember the fish which we did eat freely in Egypt freely, the cucumbers and the melons and the leeks and the onions and the garlic. But now our soul is dried away. There is nothing at all besides this manna before our eyes. Today, this wisdom, knowledge, understanding is that same manna, man. And Jake don't want it. They saying this all we got. This is what y'all coming with. When they come to camp, they thinking we're gonna be on some whole pseudo-science, and yeah, you got to go get your bachelor's and your associates and your masters, and you got to get a PhD. No, man, no, it's this manna, man. But now our soul is dried away. There is nothing at all beside this manna. Wicked niggas, man, before our eyes. And the manna was as coriander seed, and the color thereof as the color of delum. And the people were about and gathered it and ground it in meal or beat it in the mortar and bake it in pans. So let me jump down, right? Jake like, so this all we got. I guess it's what we're gonna eat then, right? This is wicked niggas. So this all we got to eat. I guess we gotta eat it, right? This is Jake wicked as hell, man. This is verse 18. It say Numbers 11:18. And say down to the people, the Lord said, sanctify yourselves against tomorrow, and ye shall eat flesh. For ye have wept in the ears of the Lord, saying, who shall give us flesh to eat? For it was well with us in Egypt. For it was well with us in Egypt. We was good in Egypt. Why you ain't just leave us there, Lord? Therefore the Lord will give you flesh, and ye shall eat it. It say, yet, it say, ye shall not eat 1 day, nor 2 days, nor 5 days. Man, the Lord cold. Neither 10 days, nor 20 days, but even a whole month, until it come out at your nostrils. And it be loathsome unto you, because that ye have despised the Lord which is among you, and have wept before him, saying, why came we forth out of Egypt? The point I'm reading this because these niggas today talking about this whole Pan-Africanism and this Egyptology. These old Egyptologist niggas, man. These the same guys right here in Numbers 11, man. Same guys, no different. Reading this again. 1 Corinthians 11:19. For there must be also heresies among you, that they which are approved may be manifest among you. Right? This is 2 Peter chapter 2 and 1. It reads, the Lord say there must be heresies among us, man, that we may know who's approved by the Lord. 2 Peter 2 and 1. But there were false prophets also among the people, even as there, which back in Yahushua time, before Yahushua in the wilderness. And that's why I tell you what Numbers 30 was that let me get this real quick. Is it Deuteronomy 13? I think it's Deuteronomy 13. I think it's one Deuteronomy 17. Let me check. Yeah. It's Deuteronomy 13, right? It say, if there arise, Deuteronomy 13 and 1, if there arise among you a prophet or a dream of dreams, and give it thee a sign or a wonder, right? I think it was another in Deuteronomy 17. I think. Yeah. Deuteronomy 17 and 1. It say, Deuteronomy 17 and 2. If there be found among you within any of thy gates, which the Lord thy power giveth thee, man or woman, that have wrought wickedness in the sight of the Lord thy power, in transgressing his covenant, and have gone and served other gods and worshiped them, either the sun or the moon, or any other host of heaven, which I have commanded. Because I tell you, when we was reading this last week, when Jake in our second King 25, when Jake was worshiping the planets, man. He was worshiping the sun, moon, the planets, right? So going back to 2 Peter's, right? Because it always been false prophets among us, man. Right? These guys, Corey Dakin the Abraham, Korah, right? Korah. He said the Lord dealing with him too, right? He ain't just dealing with Moses and the one the Lord set up, right? Aaron and his sons. He dealing with all of us. We all children of the Lord. Korah was saying, Dathan and Abiram, right? It says 2 Peter 2 and 1. But there were false prophets also among the people, even as there shall be false teachers among you, who privily shall bring in damnable heresies, even denying the Lord that brought them, and bring upon themselves swift destruction. This nigga, he don't want to hear nothing about no Bible. He don't want to hear nothing about that. He said the Bible was plagiarized, man. That's talking about this nigga here. He's one of them talking about. It say, even denying the Lord that brought them, and bring upon themselves swift destruction. And we're going to see all this play out soon, man. Lord willing, man. And many shall follow their pernicious ways, by reason of whom the way of truth shall be evil spoken of. That nigga said the Bible was plagiarized, man. And it came from the Hamites' philosophies. What is this nigga talking about, man? This is Jeremiah 3 and 15. But it's okay. Call out Yahweh Shema Bashar. What the Lord sent us at, man. Jeremiah 3 and 15. And I will give you pastors according to my heart, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding. 2 Timothy chapter 2. 2 Timothy 3 and 13, it reads, but evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. This nigga been saying that math for so long, they really believe it. Verse 14, but continue thou in the things which thou hast learned and has been assured of, knowing of whom thou hast learned them, man. And who did he learn from? The Lord said, again, 1 Corinthians 11:19, it reads, for there must be also heresies among you, that they which are approved by who? Approved by who? Yahweh Shema Bashar. Approved, that they which are approved may be made manifest among you. Who's approved? The scripture said we have spiritual fathers. Let's read it. 1 Corinthians. Matter of fact, let's get it in the blue letter so we can go through this. This is important, man. This is important. And this is why the Lord set up all these different camps. This is why this is going on. Because it's nothing new, man. It always been like this, man. This is 1 Corinthians 4 and 15. Apostle Gabar brought this out a few years ago now. I think it had to be like 3 years ago. I'll never forget it, man. Never forget it. Stuck with me, man. Because it makes sense. On top of all the other precepts. 1 Timothy 5 and 17, right? Give double honors, right? To them that are worthy, man. This is 1 Corinthians 4 and 15, and reads, for though ye have 10,000 instructors in Hamashiach, it's a lot of guys teaching that you Hebrew Israelites. It's a lot of them, right? It's a lot of them that's teaching that, right? It's a lot of them that's teaching that. For though ye have 10,000 instructors in Hamashiach, yet have ye not many fathers. For in Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, I have begotten you through the gospel, right? It say again, for though you have 10,000 instructors in Hamashiach, yet have ye not many fathers. For in Hamashiach, I have begotten you through the gospel. Now this word for fathers, let's look at it.
Strong's G 3962. Pater. Pater.
Now, it say, C, one advanced in years, a senior, right? It say, the originator and transmitter of anything. Now, when the split came in 2000, right? Who did that? Why was there a split? Because, let me get this and I'm going to come back to that. This is Luke chapter 12. This is why the split came, man. This is Luke 12 and 51. Suppose ye that I am come to give peace on earth. I tell you, nay, but rather division. The Lord is about division. He's a separatist, right? So, why did the split happen in 2000? Because for the same reason I'm reading right now, for the spiritual fathers, man. It's a one advanced in years. This is the word for fathers in 1 Corinthians 4 and 15. One advanced in years, a senior. The originator and transmitter of anything. It said the authors of a family or society of persons animated by the same spirit as himself. One who has infused his own spirit into others. Who taught you to go into the blue letter? Who taught you to look up words, man? These other camps don't do that. None of these other camps, and we all can say that, man. These guys don't go into the blue letter. They do now. They do now. Who got you going into that, man? You can't point the finger, but to one group of men, man. I don't care who you is, but Jake ain't gonna do it because they got pride. Niggas got pride, man. Now these niggas gonna come up, been teaching 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years, and you think, where you get this from? Who taught you that, man? It's a one who has infused his own spirit into others, who actuates and governs their minds. Who got you going into these things, looking at these things, looking at maps, going into all the different antiquities, man? Who got you doing that? None of these other guys go into that, man. It's a one who stands in a father's place and looks after another in a paternal way. Title of honor. The brother just put on 1 Timothy 5 and 17. Let the elders that rule well. Who is this? I can't pronounce your name right, Lord willing. Maznayim, servant of the Lamb. 1 Timothy 5 and 17. Let the elders that rule well be counted worthy of double honor, especially they who labor in the word and doctrine. What doctrine? Yahweh Shema Shas. It's a one who stands in a father's place and looks after another in a paternal way. Our apostles do that, man. It's a title of honor. It's a teachers as those to whom pupils trace back the knowledge and training they have received. Where did the apostles get their training from, their learning? From their apostles, their elders. Where did their elders get it from? Abba Bivens, man. We all know where it came from. There's only one man, the Lord's Son, to bring sound doctrine and for men to grow in it. Come on, man. It's a, yeah, that was it. It's a title of honor, teachers as those to whom pupils trace back the knowledge and training they have received. Right? The other one said, one who has infused his own spirit into others, who actuates and governs their minds, man. Who got you where you at like that, man? It's your how about Shema Rashad through who? Our spiritual fathers, which is the Apostles' Great Millstone. That's why that was a separation in 2000, man. That's why it was a separation. This is Colossians chapter 2 and verse 8. And this goes back to when they asked Yahushua, where does doctrine come from? Whose doctrine is this? It's Colossians 2 and 8. Beware, lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Hamashiach. So, this doctrine, this one sound doctrine the Bible mentions in Ephesians 4 and other chapters, there's only one gospel, right? There's only one doctrine, man. One faith, right? So, it said, beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Hamashiach. So, point I want to make, it's after the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world. Yahushua said this in John 7. Let's read again. It's John 7 and 16. Yahushua answered them and said, my doctrine is not mine, but his that sent me. If any man would do his will, he shall know of the doctrine, whether it be of God or whether I speak of myself. So, the separation is because this doctrine is from the spiritual realm, man. And Yahushua said in John 14 and in other scriptures, there's a couple other chapters, the Lord said he's going to send us the comforter, man. He's going to send us the comforter, man. And the comforter shall teach all things, right? This gospel It's from the spiritual realm, man. It's not from earth. So in Colossians 20, when it say, be while his inner man spoil you through philosophies and vain deceits, after the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world. Well, this gospel is from the spiritual realm. And that's why there's a separation, man. This is and that's what the Lord said this. This is Ezekiel 11 and 15. This is what the Lord said this, man. It reads, Ezekiel 11 15, Son of man, thy brethren, listen, Ezekiel 11 15, Son of man, thy brethren, even thy brethren, the men of thy kindred, and all the house of Israel, wholly are they unto whom the inhabitants of Jerusalem have said, get ye far from the Lord unto us in this land given in possession. They saying, listen, forget that. Let's get this bag. This man is giving us this bag. Let's take this bag and run with it. Right? Beautiful. Let's read this. It's that brother just put this up. Maznayim, Maznayim put up John 6 and 38. For I came down from heaven not to do my own will, but the will of him that sent me. It's plain, man. And this why Peter and them said we ought to obey God rather than men. There's a separation. It's a son of man, thy brethren, even thy brethren, the men of thy kindred. Who? What is that? Titus 1. When it said what? Day of the circumcision, man. It's a son of man, thy brethren, even thy brethren, the men of thy kindred, and all the house of Israel, wholly are they unto whom the inhabitants of Jerusalem have said, get ye far from the Lord. Unto us is the land given in possession. Therefore say, thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shah power, although I have cast them far off among the heathen, and although I have scattered them among the countries, yet will I be to them as a little sanctuary in the countries where they shall come. The Lord said he's going to be a little sanctuary, man. That's why there's only one gospel, man. And that's why everybody can't accept it. There's only one gospel, and everybody can't accept it. The Lord said he's going to be a little sanctuary. It say, therefore say, thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shah power, I will even gather you from the people and assemble you out of the countries where ye have been scattered, and I will give you the land of Israel. And they, see, the Lord said he'll give you the land of Israel, because 2/3 got to die, man. And they're going to have to come back as babies, reborn through the elect men and women. And they shall, it say, therefore thus saith the Lord Yahweh power, I will even gather you from the people and assemble you out of the countries where you have been scattered, and I will give you the land of Israel, and they shall come thither, and they shall take away all the detestable things thereof, and all the abominations thereof from thence. And I will give them one heart, and I will put a new spirit within you, and I will take the stony heart out of their flesh, and will give them an heart of flesh. This is Hebrews 8, 6 through 13, the new covenant to the 12 tribes of Israel. Only it say that they may walk in my statutes and keep my ordinances and do them, and they shall be my people, and I will be their God. But as for those whose heart walketh after the heart of their detestable things and their abominations, I will recompense them way upon their own heads, saith the Lord Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh. Beautiful. Let's read it. Virgin out of straight gate. Hey, Shalom to the Akim Nawa from Coming Boy, Shalom. The water for tuning in. Yahweh Shema Bashar, Barakathum. The water for tuning in. Daniel 12 and 2. And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake. That's the valley of dry bones, right? We all woke up, some to everlasting life, right? Because as the scriptures say, The elect, even if you die, you still live, man. Right? Even if you die, you get to come out with Yahweh Shah and the other elect on the chariots, man. Right? And everybody that's gonna get beat up into chariots. It say some awake to everlasting, some awake. Let's say Salakia, Daniel 12 and 2. And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt. So, valley of dry bones, take flight from there on to now, man. So the Lord put the spirit on certain men, right? To get this 100% truth of the Bible, and to tell you in Hebrews 6 and 9, things that accompany salvation, though we does speak, right? People want to go super deep, talking about you don't know how the stars were made, you don't know how the grass grow. It's a things that accompany salvation. That's the 100% truth, man. The Lord said He gave us what that Deuteronomy 29, the things that revealed to us and to our children, man. That's 100% doctrine, man. You don't gotta accept it. You don't gotta believe it. Nobody cares. It say Daniel 12 and 2. And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake, some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt. Even if you die in the name of Yahweh Shema Shah, you die doing the work. You still get to wake. You just sleep for a moment. You still get to go into the kingdom of heaven. And 2/3, they gotta come back as babies. That's when the elect get established in the land of Israel. So now you gotta come back as babies, man. This everlasting life, hey, this is talking about for the hopeful elect, man. Of course, all Israel gonna come back, but you gotta die first. 2/3 gotta die first. That ain't everlasting life, because you got to die. There's a difference between everlasting life and what? And some to shame and everlasting contempt, man. You get to come back in the kingdom, but you got to die first. And we don't want that, man. Beautiful. Let's read this. The brother also put 2 John 1 and 10. If there come any unto you and bring not this doctrine, you see, receive him not into your house, neither bid him Godspeed. Let me give more precept. I'm going to close with this. This is Ephesians. Might as well read it. I've been quoting it. This is Ephesians chapter 4. And the water for the precepts, the water for tuning in, the water. It's Ephesians 4 in verse 4 reads, there is one body and one spirit, even as ye are called in one hope of your calling, one Lord, one faith, one baptism, one power and Father of all, who is above all and through all and in you all. You see? One, man. One. That's it. And it's supposed to be like this, man. It's supposed to be heresies among us, man. This is a separation. And the ones that can't receive it, they aren't supposed to receive it, man. Let's read this. The brother got a beautiful precept. This is humble servant Aran, if I'm pronouncing it right. Jeremiah 13 and 9. Thus saith the Lord, after this manner will I mar the pride of Judah and the great pride of Jerusalem. This evil people, which refuse to hear my words, which walk in the indignation of their heart, and walk after other gods to serve them and to worship them, shall even be as Salakia, shall even be as what's the rest said? Shall even be as this girdle, which is good for nothing. Beautiful, brother. Beautiful. Which is good for nothing. It say, verse 11, for as the girdle cleaveth to the loins of a man, so have I caused to cleave unto me the whole house of Israel and the whole house of Judah, saith the Lord, that they may be unto me for a people, and for a name, and for a praise, and for a glory, but they would not hear. Therefore, thou shalt speak unto them this word. Thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Shema shall power of Israel, every bottle shall be filled with wine. Here we go. Every bottle shall be filled with wine. Salakia. And they shall say unto thee, do we not certainly know that every bottle shall be filled with wine? This is beautiful. Let me get this. Hold on. Hold on. That was beautiful, brother. Let me read that. So I want to finish up where the brother stopped at. Jeremiah 13 and verse 12. It say, therefore thou shalt speak unto them this word. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, power of Israel, every bottle shall be filled with wine, and they shall say unto thee, do we not certainly know that every bottle shall be filled with wine? Then shalt thou say unto them, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, I will fill all the inhabitants of this land, even the kings that sit upon David's throne, and the priests, and the prophets, and all inhabitants of Jerusalem with drunkenness. With drunkenness. You see that? with drunkenness, man. What does that mean? What does that mean, man? Now the brother finna have me going on. The Lord is filling 2/3 with drunkenness, man. So let's get this. It say, and I will dash them one against another, even the fathers and the sons together, saith the Lord. I will not pity, nor spare, nor have mercy, but destroy them. Hear ye and give ear, be not proud, for the Lord Yahweh have spoken. Give glory to the Lord your God before he caused darkness, and before your feet stumble upon the dark mountains. And while ye look for light, ye turn it into the shadow of death and make it gross darkness. And what these guys is doing, with their philosophies, is groping in noonday, man. They groping in darkness. This is cold, man. Yes, the spirit too. Because I had the whole thing highlighted. That's the spirit. But you know how you read something once. Listen, man. Jake is walking around groped in darkness, man. They can't see nothing, man. Bugged out because of these philosophies. But it's supposed to be like this. These are the heresies that's supposed to show us who got the truth and who don't, man. Man, it's cold, man. That's cold. He say, even the kings that sit upon David's throne, and the priests, and the prophets, and all the inhabitants of Jerusalem with drunkenness. And I will dash them one against another, even the fathers and the sons together, saith the Lord. And they say, I will not pity, nor spare, nor have mercy, but destroy them, man. Hear ye and give ear, be not proud, for the Lord Yahweh Shema have spoken. Give glory to the Lord your power, because he calls of darkness, and before your feet, and he said, before your feet stumble unto the dark mountains, and while ye look for light, he turn it into the shadow of death and make it gross darkness, man. That is cold, man. Let's get this. Gotta get this. This is Isaiah 28:7. It reads, but they also have erred through wine. Beautiful, beautiful precept upon precept. It say Isaiah 28:7. But they also have erred through wine and through strong drink are out of the way. The priest and the prophet have erred through strong drink. This ain't talking about Hennessy. This ain't talking about tequila. This ain't Patron, man. They are swallowed up of wine. They are out of the way through strong drink. They err in vision. They stumble in judgment. For all tables are full of vomit, and filthiness, so that there is no place clean, man. And Umar and Shaka and Sanetta and Polite and Rakah and GOCC and all these other camps is walking in darkness, man. They are groping in the noonday, man, because they have no vision. And what it said in Proverbs 20:18, where there is no vision, the people perish, man. This is Isaiah 56:10. It reads, it say, his watchmen are blind, they are all ignorant, they are all dumb dogs. Who's watchman? The one that set these niggas up, man. That's that. And when you read in Psalms 10:10, it say, he croucheth and humble himself, that the poor may fall by his strong ones. This nigga Umar Johnson was set up. Recall from GOCC set up. Jephthah from One Body in Dallas set up. And every last one of these other guys, they took the bag, they sold out, man. His watchmen are blind. They are all ignorant. They are all dumb dogs. They cannot bark, sleeping, lying down, loving to slumber. Yeah, they are greedy dogs, which can never have enough. And it's always about money at the end of the day. And they are shepherds that cannot understand. They all look to their own way. They turn from the Lord. I read Ezekiel 11, where they said, even thy brethren, all thy kindred said, let us go from the Lord, man. Let us go from the Lord. That's darkness, man. What is that? Proverbs 21:16. A man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall remain in the congregation of the dead, man. You got Jake following these niggas, man, faithfully. Yeah, they are greedy dogs, which can never have enough. And they are shepherds that cannot understand. They all look to their own way, everyone for his gain from his quarter. Come ye, say they, I will fetch wine. What wine? Philosophy. And we will fill ourselves with strong drink, heavy philosophies, from one philosophy to another. And it only gets worse. Now, what he's saying, I will fetch wine, we will fill ourselves with strong drink, from one philosophy to another, bugged out. And the Lord plainly said in Ecclesiastes 12, be warned of making many books, there is no end, man. And much study is a weariness of the flesh. It say, and tomorrow shall be as this day, and much more in abundance. Philosophies, walking in darkness, man. Destroyed, man. And there's only one doctrine on the planet, man. Only one. Everything else is pseudo-science. It's philosophies, vain deceits, traditions of men. And this guy said the Bible was plagiarized, man. Before I close, let's play this again, man. This is why 2/3 of our people are going to take their MOTB, man. This is why 2/3 of our people are going to die by famine and pestilence, thrown in concentration camps. This is why 2/3 of our people are going to come against each other, dealing with lack of food, man, because it's going to be a famine out here. Let's play this again. I'm going to turn my volume back up too, hoping I wasn't too low. Let's play this again.
At this point, there is no proof on this conversation that you can bring forth right now to say that in the Bible the Jews built the pyramids. There's nothing you can't bring right now. You can bring right now.
Yes, it's in my library. Yes, I can. But listen to me. Listen, I want to make sure I'm clear, brother. I'm not wasting time trying to prove anything for or against the Bible. I'm in the process of trying to build a school for our kids. I could give a damn what you believe or don't believe about the Bible. That is not a priority for Dr. Umar Johnson.
I need you to preference for the brothers and sisters what we were following in Africa, and what is that religion or what is that ideology?
I just answered that in my last conversation. Religion did not have a name because it was not religion, it was culture.
to ask, why did we as a people walk away from the Bible? Not what the white man is teaching and not what the religions are bringing forth. Because when I see the Bible and read the Bible, it's clear in principle. It has nothing to do with what the white man religions are doing. It's clear concerning our fall and how we feel as a people. And it points out the white man who've done things against the black characters in the Bible. So what I'm asking you is 2 points. Why is it that we go outside the Bible? And if there was something before the Bible, we're giving you the floor to tell us what it was. We using before the Bible. What was our constitution? What was our religion? So what we're doing now is, since you have the floor as a doctor and giving us key information on how we should come together.
I would say that I did answer the question and I didn't go around it. Second, I would say that it's important to understand that there's no law in the Bible that was not there before the Bible. From an African cultural historical perspective, the Bible is a plagiarized book because nothing in it is original. It simply borrowed from the spiritual cosmology that predated it. If you look at the laws of Moses, the 10 Commandments, those were borrowed, okay, from more than 142 positive confessions that come out of the Nile Valley spiritual code. So it's not to negate anything in the Bible, but to understand that the Bible is nothing more than a composite of pieces, okay, of spiritual doctrine that predated it. As far as what the religion was called, it's important to understand that really calling spiritual consciousness from an African context religion is inappropriate, because technically we had no religions. We had spiritual culture. So when we look at the spiritual science of Kemet, okay, of Asar and Aset and Asaru, that was a part of the culture of the people. It was not separate from their worldview. It was not separate from their family structure. It was not separate from the economic order. It was culture. So for any organized religion is that it teaches people that they have to believe in stories that don't have anything to do with their current reality as a prerequisite to building a relationship with God. So
the discussions on the table and say, well, let's just deal with this for one moment. Now, the example I'm giving you, brother, is that we don't really want to discuss what you don't believe in the Bible. You understand? Because I understand.
Maybe you shouldn't ask questions about it then.
Okay.
Maybe we shouldn't be talking about the Bible, but you're not going to unify people around Dr. Umar Johnson.
So yeah, that was it. I hate it by accident. That was it.
Okay.
Maybe we shouldn't be talking about the Bible, but you're not going to unify people around the book that historically oppressed them.
Hey, brother,
I'm disagreeing with what you're trying to push. Then we can't discontinue the interview if that's what we need.
So yeah, man. Hey, and don't worry about what his name was, Jean Baptiste, Baptism Baptiste. No, he got to be a Levite. Hey, you can watch from the bleachers. Ain't nobody tolerating that. That's your own opinion, and that's your own opinion. Go on your channel and teach that. So, in Deuteronomy 4, man, the Lord gave Israel his law, statutes, and commandments, right? He said, matter of fact, let me read it, man. This is Deuteronomy 4. It say, Deuteronomy 4 in verse 5, it read, behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my power commanded me, that ye should do so in the land of Egypt, in the land whether ye go to possess it. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding. For this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. For what nation is there so great, whom God hath so nigh unto him, as the Lord our power is in all things that we call upon him for. And what nation is great? What nation is there so great that have statutes and judgments so righteous as all this law which I set before you this day? And you got some nigga talking about the Bible was plagiarized, man. Show you how far, man. And that's why, because it's a lot of people that follow these guys, man. It's a lot of guys that's following these camps, man. They ain't telling you about the MOTB. They're not telling you about Jacob's trouble. They're not talking about World War III and the famine that's coming, man. They're not talking about the concentration camps. Revelation 2 and 10 say the devil shall cast some of us into prison. Nobody talking about this, man. That's why I understand the separation in these camps, man. That's why the Lord did what he did in 2000, man. So you can have these bug outs following everybody else, and it's a small, the Lord said in Ezekiel 11, he's going to be a small sanctuary, man, to the house of Israel, man. And as I tell you in Jeremiah 24, go read that chapter. He say, as a matter of fact, let me close with it. I just want to read a couple verses out of here, man. Jeremiah 24. Nigga gonna take the Lord's words and do something else with it, man. It's Jeremiah 24 and 1. The Lord showed me, and behold, 2 baskets of figs were set before the temple of the Lord Yahweh, after that Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, had carried away captive Jeconiah, the son of Jehoiakim, king of Judah, and the princes of Judah, with the carpenters and smiths from Jerusalem, and had brought them to Babylon. One basket had very good figs, even like the figs that are first ripe, which is what? The first fruits, the predestinated ones. It say, even like the figs that are first ripe, and the other basket had very naughty figs, which could not be eaten, they were so evil. So then said the Lord Yahweh to me, what seest thou, Jeremiah? And I said, figs, the good figs, very good, and the evil, very evil, cannot be eaten. They are so evil. There's a basket of good figs, and there's a basket of wicked figs, right? So the last precept, Jeremiah 29 and 17 say, dealing with those figs, right? Jeremiah 29 and 17, thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Shema of hosts, because I will send upon them the sword, the famine, and the pestilence, and will make them like vile figs that cannot be eaten. They are so evil. This is talking about 2/3, man. That's following wayward doctrines, man, that will not return back to Yahweh Shema Bashah. They got to be done away with, man. Yeah. Yeah, man. Hey, so Lord was edifying. Got to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua, Bahashim Rikah Quadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teach well, who are the apostles and elders of all of Israel, really concepted or not. In the sincere salutation to all the pushing this truth and believing this truth throughout the four winds of the earth, the entire world, waking up the whole elect. And shalom to the Akwath who are listening and learning. You few sisters who are listening and learning. Lord was edifying. To the next time I must say shalom. Wa abad, the wife for tuning in. May Yahweh Shema shall continue blessing your houses. Stay prayed up. Amen. They got to get put to death, man. There's nothing left but death for these people, man. Shalom.